going into the future, AI is going to eliminate a lot of jobs in society as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
I think depending on what you're going to school for now or what you want to go to school for, now the crazy part is you have to take account AI. And we're live, Cuzzo. Hit him with that
We
intro.
are back. Welcome back to the Electives Podcast. Thank you guys for watching and listening. This is episode 20, and last week's episode, man, we briefly discussed, well, at the time, man, Boston was down
3-0.
3-0,
Yeah.
right? And we talked about coaching and some of the adjustments they had made and why they were in that position and why Miami was being successful.
Right.
And a week later, here we are. Here we are at Game 7 today,
Game
Memorial
7.
Day.
Man.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
I think it's a crazy turnaround that they did. Because,
Yeah.
dude, they did not look good.
No,
They did not look good, man.
Now,
And
what adjustments do you feel like they made?
I feel like everything we said Miami was doing, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Like, they made – and everybody started playing. I mean, Marcus
True.
Smart hit 4 threes the other game or something.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think before that game 5,
Yeah.
Derek White had like 29 or 28
That's
or something
insane.
like that.
Yeah.
And he hit 6 threes.
Yeah, so
Right. So when your role players give you 20-plus points of offense,
right.
you know, two of them, because
Right.
I don't know if Marcus Smart had I don't know if he had as big of a game as he had Game 6
Yeah.
that he had in Game 5. But, yeah, if they're basically giving an additional 50 points between two bench players.
Yeah, you're definitely going to win some games like that.
Yeah, it helps. That helps.
Yeah.
And Jimmy's been struggling.
Yup.
Bam's been struggling.
Yup.
You know, something I noticed too, and I don't know because we talk, you know, X's and O's, but
Right.
defensively, they figured Jimmy out.
Yeah, it seems like that.
They've been timing his shot
Yeah, he's been getting blocked.
like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like,
Come on, Jimmy.
So, I mean, we'll find out tonight, though.
Yeah,
right?
we're
We'll
gonna find out what
tonight,
happens.
Tonight is when you find out who's
Yeah.
the
And then,
the-
real quick, we talked about the coaching. Remember, we weren't sure
true.
about how Boston was, how their coach was.
Yeah.
Like, if it would have been better with the old coach. But, like we were talking earlier, I saw
Mm-hmm.
that video where he went to go visit, you know, a terminal ill patient. I think she
Yeah.
was 21,
yeah.
and he said that just opened his mind to something else. So I don't know if he brought that to the locker room, or which game that was either.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they've been winning. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, and that's something that's like interesting about life, right? Like I mean, we talk about how sports translates to life, but life also translates to sports. Well,
Right.
there's inspiration all around us, 24/7. You know, sometimes it can come in the form of something that at the time may seem like it's negative,
Right.
You know, but it can be positive for someone else. So
Yeah.
I mean, credit to the coach for trying to find a way to inspire his guys.
Yeah.
Because sometimes too, I think, and I'm sure you know this or you've experienced this, but sometimes your voice just doesn't. The players, for whatever reason, you know, it's just not. You could be saying all the right things,
Right.
telling them exactly, hey, this is what we need to do, guys, but they're just not buying into it.
Yep.
Someone else can say the exact same thing,
Yep.
just a little different.
Just like being a parent.
yeah. I would imagine. Yeah.
Oh man, it's the same thing.
Yep.
But yeah, interesting, man. Game 7. We'll see who you got.
If I'm being honest, I mean, I feel like you almost have to give it to Boston. They got the momentum.
Yeah.
They've won 3 in a row. If I'm
Going back
Miami, I'm
home.
feeling a little. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little anxious.
Right.
You know, when I take those big shots in the fourth quarter,
Right.
your nerves might be a little,
Yeah.
shaky.
Yeah.
You know, in the
that's true.
garden. So
In the garden.
and then you give a guy like Tatum momentum.
Right.
You know, Tatum might drop 50 tonight. Or Brown might drop 50 tonight.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, Jimmy might drop 50 tonight.
Jimmy's
Jimmy
gonna
looked
have
real
to-
calm in the interview.
He did. Jimmy's gonna have to go for 50 tonight. Honestly,
Something's gonna happen.
he should. I would say, man, instead of going for it, which I mean, we haven't seen anybody do this since Will
Right.
Chamberlain, but in my mind frame or my mindset, if I was Jimmy Butler, would be I'm gonna try and score 100.
Score 100.
I'm gonna
going
try.
for it.
I'm gonna try. you
Oh
know?
man. Yeah.
But,
Well, it's gonna be exciting, man.
But yeah, we just wanted to sprinkle that
Yeah.
in, man, because obviously,
Because
you know,
last episode we were talking about
and
Boston
it's
was done.
Just complete 180.
Yeah, it's
complete
crazy.
180.
That's
but
crazy.
this week, man, we're gonna be talking about AI.
AI. Not
and-
Allen Iverson.
Yeah, no, not Allen Iverson. Yeah, artificial intelligence,
Yep.
ladies and gentlemen. Um, artificial intelligence, as we've all kind of seen, has been something that's grown rapidly in the last few years.
Yep.
Something that's been, I mean, it's not anything new, right? I think we all knew it was coming, but it's just it's interesting, man. So go ahead, Cuzzo. If you
Yeah. So I mean, AI is as you said, is taking over, society as a whole now.
Mhm.
With everything, Chat GBT. I don't know if you've used it yet. I mean, I think that software is incredible though.
Yeah, I have that. I made an account. I haven't used it to its full capacity, but I also downloaded an AI app that I do use.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think there's good, like anything, there's good and bad with anything that comes into the, invented. It's
Right.
good and bad.
Right.
But AI, this new stuff, man. I mean, like, especially like for us, podcasting, YouTubing, it makes things a whole lot easier
It does.
when you don't have to really like think about it. I mean, you got to think about your ideas, but then
Right.
you can put it into this program and it'll break it down for you, tell you what to say, how to say it, and then you can adjust it from there. I think that's an incredible software.
No, for sure. Yeah, because it's like working smarter, not harder.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The way that I think AI can be beneficial is, yes, it's like having a personal assistant.
Yep.
Almost.
Yeah.
Readily accessible.
Yeah. Easy. Which is
you
going
know,
to be another skill to learn.
True.
You're going to have to learn how to talk to it.
True.
You
True.
know what words
But-
to write.
Now let me ask you this: do you think that there was because like I thought about this and I said to myself, okay, well, we were already using AI before like it really took off.
Yeah.
I mean, think about Siri, right?
Yeah.
Think
Siri.
about
Yeah.
Alexa.
Yeah.
You're speaking to an inanimate object, and you're asking it something, and it's
Yeah.
responding, and then you're responding.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So it wasn't like a huge culture shock when GPT came along. It
Right.
was just kind of like, oh well, hey, I'm already
Yeah.
doing it on my phone.
Yeah. Now it's just the upgraded version.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But what I did hear, and I don't know if you heard this with ChatGPT, they had to change it after like the first month
Yeah.
because the way people were using it was not.
It wasn't, yeah, not what it was intended.
It was not
for,
what it
yeah.
was intended for. People were asking it crazy things,
Crazy
how to,
stuff,
how
dude.
to do this, how to do that, and it was just telling them.
Yeah. Yeah,
which
that's the
could be
crazy
very
part.
dangerous,
Yeah, it could be dangerous for
Yeah,
sure.
I think some of the things that it was telling was they asked it like, what are the weaknesses in like the Pentagon or like military, but in like
Oh
stuff
my god.
stuff that
Yeah.
obviously people shouldn't know.
Yeah, and,
you know?
Yeah, and crazy's asking those questions. Man.
Yeah, and there's
it's
always
crazy.
going to be somebody who's going to try to use this kind of technology for bad
Right.
purposes or whatever the case is. But
Yeah, no,
it's
that's
just a part
true,
of
man.
society.
Yeah, and I think it should be an eye. If it hasn't opened been an eye opener for you yet, it should, because whatever going into the future, AI is going to eliminate a lot of jobs in society as we know it. You know what I'm saying? So, I think depending on what you're going to school for now or what you want to go to school for, now the crazy part is you have to take into account AI, because what does it look like in 10 years,
Yep.
15 years?
Yep.
Will your position be eliminated, or can it be eliminated?
Right.
Or can your career path be eliminated? I think
Right.
that's scary to think about, man, when you're going to school.
It is scary to think about, and I guess what we'll have to see is how our government responds, because they can put a law into place that they could say, okay, you still have to hire X amount of human beings.
Right.
Will they do that? I don't know, because this country has shown time and time again it cares about one thing and one thing only, and that's profit.
Well, yeah, it's a capitalist.
It's a capitalistic society.
yeah.
So, and to bring, we shot our episode with Nick. Nick brought
Yeah.
in a good point. He wants to focus on people over profit.
Right.
But in this country, unfortunately, it's the other way around.
Yeah, it's profit first, man.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think people really got to start thinking about it. Especially the younger kids, because I think we've been in these limbo years
Yeah.
where you can kind of get away with working like a normal job after high school
Mm-hmm.
and live with your mom or dad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when that's all gone,
Yeah, then
like McDonald's has, you can order on the damn thing now.
Yeah, no.
And they're training us to do it because,
Yeah.
like I rarely go to the store.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just order on Amazon.
There you go.
So I don't even want to talk to nobody.
Yep.
Self
And
checkout?
I was gonna say, and have you been to Walmart anytime lately?
Nah, just Target.
Walmart doesn't even have like, at least the Walmarts I've been in, man. It almost seems like they only have one person working the register.
Yeah, it's one person.
They got 18 registers.
Yup.
And there's only one person.
Everybody's in the self checkout.
Everybody's in the self checkout. But to
Yeah.
your point, they've programmed us to become more used to this.
Yeah, like just do it on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which is nuts, man.
It is. It is. And
it-
we just do it.
Yeah, we just do it.
Don't even question it.
Nope. And it's just the
do it.
start of it too.
I know.
You know, it's just like the start of it. So I think we really got to start preparing ourselves for the future.
What are the main jobs you think that are at risk?
I think any computer job,
Yep.
if you're any computer job or any register, if you're working at a register, if you're actually I'll just start with those two. Anything with a computer and anything if you're at a register, I think you're in trouble for
Yep.
years to come. I think that job's gonna be eliminated eventually because you only really need one person
Right.
to manage the robot, the computer.
No, yeah. No, and it can do so much. I mean, even like accountants,
Right.
accountants, paralegals, different things like that. Like I
Right.
was seeing that entrepreneurs were using ChatGPT to basically fill out their paperwork
Yeah.
for their businesses.
Yep.
And it's doing it,
Yeah.
in real time. And
Yeah. And we don't need to file papers anymore. I mean, a lot of people use just hard drives.
that too.
I mean, you can get a huge ass hard drive and store everything on there. And back it up with another hard drive instead of having paper, and then the computer can kind of just file it away.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. What about in the healthcare industry? Do you think that AI will potentially replace surgeons even?
I don't know, man. That's tough because I think, they say like robots can't make mistakes,
Right.
but I don't know.
yeah.
I guess that's interesting. Maybe they're gonna need a surgeon to stand with the robot
Yeah. Yeah.
as they do the surgery
Yep.
because they got a steadier hand. Obviously, it's more steady.
Right.
But, So maybe in that way.
Yeah, because I've even thought about like in my career, in my profession, right, being a
Right.
barber. Do I think that a robot could cut someone's hair? Yes,
Yeah.
but I think we're at least myself and other fellow barbers and stylists. I think we're okay because the pandemic showed that people still want human interaction.
Right.
So that's one thing about AI.
Yeah.
Is it doesn't have the human element to it.
Right.
So a doctor or a surgeon may be okay because a person may say, or maybe we'll have the choice.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have the choice one day.
Yep.
Right? Do you want the robot 3000 to give you a triple bypass,
Right.
or,
Right.
or would you rather have your
Yeah.
doctor do it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think barbers are fine because I think I had this conversation with my brother, and it's like you said, people are gonna still want to talk to somebody,
Yeah.
somebody real,
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, have you? And we've all done it, right? Like, how many times have you called customer service? And
Yeah.
you hear that robot,
That's irritating.
and you're just like, I want to talk to a human being.
Yeah, speak with an agent.
Zero.
Now they started taking that button away.
Have they?
Some of them,
Oh,
that's an invalid response. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
but yeah, I think, and then so then let's transition then. So we got
Mhm.
the ones that are being eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think's here to stay aside from barbering?
Here to stay. I was gonna say teachers, but even teachers are at risk.
I think they're huge at risk.
And but it kind of goes back to like the human element, the human aspect. I guess we'll have to see. I mean, there's gonna have to be a trial period where you have an entire generation that's taught by AI, and you
Yep.
have to see how they respond to it.
Public schools will be first. You guys will be.
Oh.
They'll be the guinea pigs. Unfortunately,
No, it's true though.
they're gonna be the
It's
first
true.
ones.
It's true.
Yeah, yeah. Because private schools, I think private schools will always be around. just because people are gonna be able to pay. It's you know, it's like this is what I want. You know, so I'm gonna pay that. Public schools, you ain't got an option.
Right.
You get a robot.
Yep.
You get Mr. 3000.
Yep. And they're already kind of setting the kids up too, because everybody's got an iPad now.
Yeah.
Everybody's got
Yeah.
all these different little tech things at all these schools now. But another job that I think is not at risk would be politicians, people involved in government, military.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, military, law enforcement, health. I mean, even like nurses, I think they'll still be around.
Yeah.
Just maybe not as many. They'll have to be more of like in the private sector, I think. You know.
Yeah, and then I mean, I think even like
I would say plumbers,
electricians. Yeah, plumbers, electricians. So anybody really in the trades.
Yeah, in the trades
is okay. Which is interesting because back in the day, at least what I remember growing up, like trades was considered like, and it sounds messed up, but at the time I remember hearing like that's how it was talked about. Like trades was for people that weren't good enough to go to college.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Right.
Because now I'm like, man, I should have fucking been an electrician.
But now you realize how important and how, if we're being honest as a society, like anybody who's involved in the trade has really helped build the infrastructure and continue to keep up the infrastructure of the United States.
Yeah.
You know, because without those guys or those women, you know.
Yeah, women too.
Then, hey, things don't run.
Yeah, things ain't. And who's going to fix stuff in your house? A robot is not going to come. Well, at least I don't think a robot's going to come here and run my electric.
Well, I was going to ask, do you think that one day everyone will have a robot in their house?
Like iRobot?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't want one.
To be honest,
I don't want one.
I don't have Alexa or anything like that in the house because I don't know, man. It feels weird to me. Yeah. And even sometimes and don't get me wrong, I'll use Siri, but sometimes it feels weird.
Yeah. To me. It's weird, dude.
You know?
And they're listening to you and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. But yeah. So if you're out there listening, make sure you stay in the trades.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's some, unless you're going to college to be a lawyer, because I think they're here to stay.
Yeah, lawyers are here to stay.
Lawyers are here to stay. Judges, like you said, government.
Anything really where you have to have human interaction.
Yeah, human interaction's here to stay. But like marketing, a robot can do that.
Yep.
And then now, I mean, really, if you can do like a Facebook ad or something, that's all a company really needs.
Yep.
Or they're using YouTubers now, so that's like the marketing plan now instead of commercials.
True.
Using them, so
true. Now I read an interesting article, man, about because we brought in healthcare briefly. I'm sure you're familiar with Elon Musk, right? The CEO of Tesla.
Yeah.
Everybody pretty much knows who he is and knows his name. But he was talking about something called Neuralink, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
And what's your opinion on that? What do you think about that?
I really don't have an opinion because I think it's so crazy that he's gonna put a chip.
That's what I was gonna say.
In somebody's brain.
Yeah.
Now, the powers behind it, I don't know. Does it make you like limitless, like that movie where you take the pill and then you're like super smart?
Yeah.
So then
it would basically, from my understanding, right? And once again, we are not professional. we just want to put that out there, right? We are not experts in this field at all. But my understanding is that it will basically give you access to the entire internet. So it'd be like putting the AI in your brain.
That is nuts.
Yeah. So any question that you wanted to know or
you just think about it.
You just think about it, and bam, comes right to you.
That's insane.
Well, it is. And
I wonder how much that's gonna cost.
Yeah.
50 G's to make you
more than that.
To make you pretty much invincible.
But I think it'd be more than that. It'd have to be more than that because 50 G's to have that kind of information is, to me, I couldn't have somebody open my head up, dude, and put something in there. Like I wonder what the long-term effects would be on your brain. Well, that's what I think that they're getting. I don't know. I know that they just got approved to start trying it on human beings,
right.
But I don't know if they're actually going to do a study on it, or if they're just going to say, hey, you know what, the hell with it, let's just
roll it out.
Let's just roll it out there and see how the people respond to it. You know.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. Yeah, that I don't know. I would rather just look it up on my phone.
Well, Elon also too discussed that. I believe this was on Joe Rogan's podcast. He actually talked about why he's afraid of AI. Now he's afraid of AI to an extent because his biggest fear is that AI will develop consciousness, and if AI develops consciousness, then what's stopping AI from saying, you know, the planet works really well without human beings. The human beings are the one thing that is destroying the planet.
Yeah.
Why don't we just get rid of them?
That'd be crazy.
And I mean, that's like some Terminator type.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's where all those ideas of those movies come from. You know, but I mean, we are heading in that direction.
Yeah.
You know, now consciousness is a weird thing. It's an interesting concept. You know,
right.
And to think that something like iRobot could happen, where you know this robotic being all of a sudden starts having feelings.
Yeah.
could change the whole landscape, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Change the whole landscape. Yeah.
Yeah, AI is man. Yeah, I mean that's the kind of the scary part, like how Joe Rogan says. 'Cause I thought about that too. Like, man, if a robot starts taking over, what are we gonna do?
Nah, it's not. I mean, it's really nothing. It's really. I mean, just pull the plug, right? You got to
just pull it.
Kill the. Got to kill the power source.
All right, let's take a quick break. Straight, we back from the break.
Yes, sir.
So, man, let's keep rolling with this AI.
Okay. All right.
Let's talk about the financial industry.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think? How do you think it's gonna affect that?
I think it's going to be huge, man. I mean, they already use, you know, like Wall Street uses advanced computers right now,
right,
to come up with these calculations and predictions of how the market's going to move. I mean, ultimately, nobody really knows, they say.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, AI is only going to continue to get more intelligent and catch more patterns, and it'll adapt to the markets, and before you know it, man, I believe it will be able to predict exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's going to be nuts.
So I mean, you know, they say that we're in a recession now, or that we'll, you know, be in a full-blown recession by the end of the year.
Right.
So we'll have to wait and see, man. And even someone like yourself, what do you think is going to happen in the housing market with AI?
Yeah, I think it's similar. They're going to be able to predict what's going to happen. They're going to be able to, you know, see, you know, read all the data. But you know, I don't know. I think about the future of like real estate agents, and I almost feel that eventually companies, like, you know, the companies are just going to have an AI agent. You don't have to, like, they say you know, you were supposed to be there to show the house, right? But maybe that's eliminated down the road, because you can have an AI list a home. You can now, if I'm the company, I can say, all right, Malcolm, you know, we're gonna have the house be showed.
Yep.
But I'm gonna stick cameras in your house. So now when people come,
there's a key code.
Cameras turn on.
Yep.
You can see them walk through your whole house.
Yep.
And then the showing's over.
And now let me ask you this: do you think do you think more people will like that? And the reason why I asked that is because I remember when my girlfriend, when she had gotten into a bad car accident, and we went to go look for newer vehicles.
Yeah.
The experience of how different dealerships go about selling a car,
right?
You know, it was night and day.
Yeah.
One dealership annoyed the hell out of us because they were way too pushy.
Yeah.
You know, and I understand that that's a part of it, right?
Yeah.
But then one dealership, in my opinion, did an amazing job, because what they did was they basically said, hey, what kind of vehicles are you guys looking for? Okay, you want this color, that, this is the kind of trim you want.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's the keys to the vehicle. You guys go and test drive it yourselves
without
me.
Yeah.
You know, without me, the salesperson.
Yeah.
Let you guys enjoy it. Take it for as long as you want. Obviously, don't go drive it to Wisconsin or something crazy, and then come back and let me know what you think. By doing that, we were able to really enjoy, just enjoy the test drive.
Like
you
visualize yourself in the car.
Yeah, and not feel like the person is right there in the back. Like, so you're gonna buy it? So you're gonna buy it? So you're gonna buy it?
Right.
So with housing, having customers show up and say, hey, we got 30 minutes or 45 minutes to walk through this house by ourselves.
Right.
And we can really look in every little nook and cranny and see, what maybe needs to be, what we need to change, what we need to invest, so on and so forth, and just have more of a relaxed experience.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that, man. I think that might be the future of real estate.
Mm-hmm.
If it develops like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then granted, there'll probably be some people who are like, oh, I want to take an agent with me, like somebody to kind of walk me through the house.
True.
But then I think it's gonna be almost like the self-checkout, man. Like, you book an appointment to go see the house, it gets approved, it sends you the code. It'd probably be like, if you have to be there at this time, otherwise the code expires.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't just have it open.
Yeah.
And then they do the same thing, walk through the house. If you have any questions, send us the questions, and then the AI can respond, or a human can respond, and all your questions get answered. And then it's a matter of submitting a contract, stuff like that. I mean, that it could happen.
Yeah,
it could happen.
Yeah.
Where
and like closing and paperwork and all that stuff
dude.
will be like ChatGPT will just sign here, and that's it.
Yeah, and if they need you to come in person, obviously, like, you have a receptionist,
right,
or somebody in there,
right.
You walk in, sign the paper, done. Yeah. So it could be. I mean, sales jobs too could be at risk, man. Because I saw a video where, Google, or I don't know if it was Google or somewhere, but they had an AI doing sales calls, and it could like triple. I think it was double or triple, maybe. Don't quote me on it, but the amount of calls that a human could do compared to the AI, it was nuts.
Yeah.
And then it could tell your voice, like the AI could be like, oh, okay, I think it can judge your personality, and ask you questions to get you to say yes.
Yeah. See, now, and that's
crazy.
where it gets scary. That's where you get going back to, like I said, about I'm not necessarily afraid of AI itself, but if it starts developing consciousness, if it's able to to read human beings and manipulate human beings, then we're in some serious trouble.
We're in some trouble, man. So when I saw that, I was like, why wouldn't people use it for sales?
But if we're being honest, then I guess we're already being manipulated.
Yeah.
Right? Through advertising, through marketing.
Yeah.
So it
would just be a different.
it would just be a different form of manipulation.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the financial industry, the banks. I mean, look at tellers, man. Tellers are slowly going away.
Yeah.
Banks will probably
be non-existent.
I mean, the way they're talking, it's probably going to go away.
Well, how long do you...
That digital currency stuff.
That's what I was going to say, is how long do you think before actual physical currency is gone?
I don't know, man. I'm like you, man. I get scared thinking about it because what does that mean for us? If the world that we know is completely gone.
Yeah.
Now we're in a whole new world. And
just have to adapt, man.
Yeah, no, but it's just like where does it
stop? It doesn't.
Yeah, and what's the game now?
Yeah.
Because if it's a digital currency, like these people are saying, and they can say, Malcolm, you can't buy this. You can't play FanDuel anymore.
Right.
You've won too much money on FanDuel.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy, and it locks your stuff.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
No, yeah, it could happen.
We're gonna be back to like trading.
Yeah, the barter system.
Yeah, the barter system.
Nah, I mean, it could.
Right?
It could happen.
It could.
It could happen. I mean, nothing. I don't know. I think, what I've learned about human beings is that and it seems like every decade, man, we do this. We'll run to one side of the boat.
Yeah.
And then we'll run to the other side of the boat. And then we just keep literally going back and forth. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't like to just stay consistent and steadily change over time. It's like we have all these extremes.
Yeah, it's always something. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, man, with the financial industry, real estate.
What about cybersecurity? What do you think about that in AI? I mean, because they're already doing it.
Yeah, they're already doing it. I mean, I think it's I would say it's probably good for cybersecurity because it's the smartest wall that you can have.
Right.
But obviously, then there's the other side. That's the good versus evil.
Right.
It could be the bad AI who can
Right.
penetrate the good AI.
Right.
I mean, it's.
Right.
So I don't know.
Because I do think that that's like what potentially what a World War III would look like. I don't think it's necessarily
Bombs
like
or anything.
No, it'd be a digital war. You know. Yeah, it's like if
That's crazy.
I mean, because think about it. What's more detrimental to the United States, right? If we were to get into an actual physical altercation, right, with Russia or whoever, let's just say, right, or if they were able to somehow shut down all of Wall Street,
that'd be crazy. Or Wi-Fi or phones.
If they were able to just wipe out the entire system and the network overnight, that would be, to me, that would hurt us more.
Yeah.
Than going and fighting in wherever.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, because if you can't communicate, what are we gonna do?
Can't communicate, can't go out and buy groceries. Your entire system is done.
Yeah, I think, I think the one thing I don't like with the AI is with the electric cars, which is why I won't get one. I feel like there's something behind them pushing the electric cars. This is just a conspiracy theory, so I don't know. This is my theory.
But it's not okay. Let's hear it.
Okay, all right. If I got a gas car, now granted, my car does have a computer in it,
right?
So they could mess with it that way.
Yeah.
But if you're all electric,
yeah,
I feel like they can be like, you can't drive today. Today you're not allowed to drive.
True.
So your car won't turn on. So
it's possible. So you think it's potentially another way to control people in the long run, down the road. Yeah.
Down the road.
I get it.
Yeah, because right now, I mean, they can't. I mean, the gas is like physically. You got to physically go.
Right.
They empty the gas in there, and I think gas stations will still be around.
Mm-hmm.
But let's just say there wasn't any gas stations, and you have to charge your car.
Mm-hmm.
But then they're like, well, you can only get X amount of electricity. You can't charge your car.
Yeah.
Can't drive it today.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's definitely a possibility, man.
Yeah, because I think about my car with the computer. I'm like, man, they could program whatever they want into it.
Yep.
So maybe it's better to have the hoopty down the road. Get that hoopty back.
Yeah. Everybody get yourself a hoopty, man. Go ahead and spend $500.
Hey, get yourself
an old reliable Honda Civic, 1990 Honda Civic.
Yep, because when it all comes crashing down, that hoopty's going to be running. Yep. Yeah, they got no computer in that one.
No. I think the smartest technology in the hoopty is probably the radio.
The radio, and they got the big ass antenna.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah, AI, man, it's gonna be a crazy thing. But so you wrote down climate change on here.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. What was your idea behind that?
My thinking behind it? So my thinking behind it is that I personally, I'm not a big believer in the climate and the global warming conspiracy.
Right.
And my reason behind that is because I think that the Earth has been around for way longer than humans have. So the Earth is always going to do what it needs to fix itself.
Okay.
Right? And I believe that things that are happening right now in the world when it comes to climate change are just cyclical. I do think that it's not good for us to be doing everything that we're doing,
right.
Putting all the emissions and stuff like that into the air and the atmosphere. Excuse me. But like I said, I do believe that the Earth will find a way to fix itself regardless of what we do.
Right.
And because of things like AI, I think in the future, it will help naturally regulate that for us as human beings. There'll be systems put into place, robots put into place to just take and handle and deal with the emissions right away.
Right.
And so I do think that it can be beneficial when it comes to that. In the long run. Yeah,
I agree with that. I don't have too much on climate change. I really don't get into it that much. I think it's kind of just is what it is. We, like you said, we do a lot of stuff that causes harm to it. So, but yeah, maybe AI would be able to help with that.
Yeah, and I do think that solar panels, different things like that, green energy, I do see us as a society just moving more in that direction in the long run.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah, that's true.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I was going with it.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. Yeah, because climate change is another thing, man. Seems like the winters are getting a little longer.
Yeah, and the sun. Yeah,
It seems like it.
yeah,
At least in Illinois.
yeah. I think just in
I
the
mean, it's like
Midwest.
cold, like from like November to like to April.
But so that's one of the reasons. Well, not one, but I think about the solar system as a whole, right?
Right.
Everything's moving.
Yeah.
Right? And it just so happens that every, I don't know, 1,000 years, 2,000 years, I don't know the exact timeline of it all, but
Right.
the Earth is going to be moving and rotating in a different way,
Yeah.
right, throughout the entire solar system, and then the galaxy, and the galaxy a part of the universe, et cetera, et
Right.
cetera.
Right.
Scientists have been able to show and prove that at one point, you know, back in the day, that the weather was different because of this, because of that. So I think that's just where we're at.
Yeah.
I think it's just one of those.
It's just changing.
It's just changing, but it's not necessarily, you know, oh, the world's gonna end.
Right. No,
You know, I don't like buying into that theory. I don't think it's good to push that theory.
Yeah, I don't
and
like
have
that either.
people in fear, like, you know, that the ozone layer is all of a sudden gonna disappear and the sun's gonna be beaming so hard that people are gonna start melting.
Yeah. That's crazy.
No.
Nah. Yeah, I think we'll be all right with that.
Yeah.
Then you got diversity and inclusion in here.
Yeah.
AI with diversity and inclusion.
Yeah, and because like we're in the workspace, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I mean, more so in some of the jobs that we talked about that will possibly be replaced.
Yeah.
Someone's still gonna have to, I guess, operate these robots.
Right.
So, you know, whoever that person is gonna learn how to integrate with AI. You know?
Right,
There's gonna
right.
be there's gonna be somebody that's just more responsible for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean that's really what I meant by diversity and inclusion. You know,
Yeah. Just having.
somebody's gonna have to work with the robots.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody's always gonna have to work with the robot. Might even be a new major down the road.
It might be.
You know.
Yeah. It
And
might be. You get a
and-
master's in AI.
Yeah, masters in AI. Yep. Or I wonder, you know, we touched a little bit on education. I wonder if AI will now eliminate the college, like the colleges we know it. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
Because really, if you, I mean, I went to school for 4 years. A lot of the stuff you don't use for whatever it is that you want to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like an electrician, it takes a year to become an electrician.
Mm-hmm.
So why can't it take a year for something else? And then literally the AI can say, all right, what all do I need to learn in order to be in this career field? And then the AI just breaks it down.
Well, okay, but let's talk about your theory that for 50 grand you can get this chip put in your head, right? Now,
Right.
you go to college. A person goes to college. What's the average cost of college to go to any college for 4 years?
It's probably like 40 a year.
Okay, so basically 50.
Right. We'll just call it 50.
Or let's just say
Room
it is
and
50,
board.
right?
Room and board 50.
So what would you rather do if someone gave you the option at the age of 18? Hey, you can put this chip in your head, and I mean you can know everything, right?
Right.
Like you could pass any test with this kind of information. If you had access to the internet 24/7,
Right.
you could ask any question and have it answered in real time.
Right.
What's the need to go to college?
Yeah.
You know everything. You know how to do. You know how to do everything.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I think I think that could be a good thing though, man, because I mean, besides the experience you get from college, you know, of living there on your own and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you really just want to just get out in the world and start, you know, just learn what you have to learn, you know, I think AI could be good for that.
True.
You know, if I'm a teacher right now, I'm looking at that. I think we talked about that before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm creating a business plan. I'm going to use AI to help me develop like different classes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to teach myself.
Yeah.
You know, like I won't be in the school no more.
Yep. Yeah, and just
But-
have an entire program that you can then either sell to a school, right?
Yeah.
Is that kind of
Yeah, or you are the school, you know?
Ah.
Like, okay, here, you know, everything's online.
Mm.
You can go to high school online now. If you don't want to go to high school,
True.
still have a teacher. It's like homeschooling, except beefed up.
Now, do you think that would be better for children or worse?
Worse in the sense of you don't get to socialize, but better in the sense you're getting a better education, I think.
Right.
Because a teacher's going to specifically build the classes and stuff the way they want to, not what the school system pushes on you to teach.
Right.
It's a different.
Right.
Yeah.
Now from like society's or just as society as a whole, do you see us becoming more we still need the social aspect, but do you see us as a society distancing ourselves slowly but surely from each other? Because it's a weird thing. Like, we're all connected, right? And we've talked about that before. Like, we all have this, with our phones, we can be connected.
Right.
But at the same time, we feel so disconnected.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely is like that. It definitely is like that, man. I think over time we'll just slowly start to separate even more. It'd almost be like a class or a class system. Yeah. Like back in the day, how there was classes, and then it's like, but I think it's gonna come down to the education part.
True.
And hopefully AI can help with that.
Yeah.
Or not help. I don't know. But
what's your biggest fear when it comes to AI? Your own personal fear, like when you've given it some thought.
I guess like, I guess like I'm not really like, I'm more the only part like we discussed earlier is the financial part. I really am afraid of somebody trying to control, or a computer being able to control what I do with my money or where it's at. Because right now it's in the bank.
Right.
But tomorrow they could just.
Well, if it goes, so you're saying like if it goes to 100% digital,
yeah,
right? What's stopping somebody, or what's stopping AI from just saying 0?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think that's my biggest fear with AI is if it goes that route, and all our money's there, when you talk about taking people's money, man.
Hey, you pissing people off.
You doing something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I almost wondered, like, if that does happen, if I would just pull my money out and just keep it at the crib. I don't know though.
But then it's
then if your house burns, your money burns, I guess.
Right. Yeah, and so like this kind of, I don't know. I guess this could segue into like a topic, but if that were to happen though, because money is a belief system. If we're being completely honest, right?
Yeah.
If I hand you a $5 bill right now, you and I are both agreeing that it's worth $5.
Right.
If I hand you a $100 bill, you and I are both agreeing that it's $100.
Right.
Now, if we're being completely honest, what's the difference between that $5 bill and that $100 bill?
Nothing.
It's just the ink.
Yeah, it's just the ink.
But we agree
that
because the $100 bill has blue ink,
right,
it's worth more.
Yep.
So if something like that were to occur, and everybody takes their money out of the bank, well, still at the end of the day, there has to be a belief
that it's worth something.
That it's worth something in order for it to actually be worth anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's why when I think about it, it gets crazy for me, because I'm like, man, what if that does happen.
Yeah, because then I mean the barter system may come into play, like you mentioned. It's like, well, dude, what do I care about having a blue $100 bill? That's not gonna feed my family.
Right.
If for whatever reason things go bad.
Right.
It's like, no, I need a loaf of bread. You got bread?
You got bread, and
You got water?
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna that could be crazy, man.
So like my biggest fear when I think about it is like I brought up earlier, is AI developing consciousness to the point where it realizes that maybe human beings aren't what's best for the planet, and choosing to do something, that would put us in harm's way,
Which is what Elon Musk said. I think he said that's what he's afraid of AI.
In that sense,
if it becomes too smart.
Right. Now, do you agree with him from the standpoint that we should become a multi-planet species?
What do you mean?
Meaning that human beings are living on Mars, they're living on other planets
that
are habitable, potentially habitable.
I mean, it's interesting to think about if you wanted to, do that. I think.
You think it's something that we'll see within our lifetime because of AI and because of technology? I mean, it's more so because of the speed that it's all moving at.
Yeah. I mean, I think we might see some of it, maybe. What are we 30?
I think we will.
32, 50 years?
I think we will. No question.
I think towards our end, I think we'll feel it. I think we'll see it.
I think we'll see it within the next 20 years.
You think so?
Yeah, because I mean, look at what our grandparents have seen in their lifetime. I mean, just in the last, since they've been 50 up until now.
Yeah.
It's just night and day.
Yeah.
And who's to say they haven't already done it or they haven't already attempted it?
That's true too.
But I personally think it's not a bad thing. I just wish we all would take better care of this planet and ourselves first.
So I was trying to ride out.
Yeah, it's like, and myself included, right? I'm not perfect. I mean, I got some things I can tighten up on when it comes to being environmentally friendly.
Right, right.
So
I think that's gonna cost so much, though. I think that'll probably start to happen if it starts to get bad here. With AI, because you got to think about it. If AI starts to eliminate jobs, where does that leave people? And if it gets too bad here, people are gonna just naturally leave.
Well, that's a good question. So if AI does take all of these jobs away, then what are people gonna do? What are people gonna do with their time?
I think that's a scary thing to think about.
So, I mean, it could be scary, but it could also be positive if used correctly. If people start putting, what do we talk about on the podcast? We talk about mindset. We talk about purpose. We talk about passion, right?
Right.
If people start pursuing their passions, because if we're being honest, some people just go to college because they don't go to college because that's what they're passionate about.
Right.
Or they don't end up in a specific career or a job field because that's what they're passionate about.
Right.
They're doing it for money.
Right.
They're doing it because it pays the bills.
Right.
It gives them the kind of lifestyle that they want.
Yeah.
If AI comes into play and removes some of these jobs, and we as a society decide, hey, rather than sitting in the corner of your house and being depressed because you no longer have a job, if we take that energy and we start putting into your passions and your purpose, well, maybe I'm just using this as an example. Maybe you find out that person was actually an amazing artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Da Vinci. Something like that. And this person is actually extremely gifted, and now they can live a life full of purpose, full of passion, because they no longer are chasing, monetary gain.
Yeah, that's true. But we also got to think about too, like, in this book I was reading it talks about the downward spiral effect. So I mean, like, granted, I think there'll be a small number that does that, but then when you're trying to like survive, I think most people just fall in that downward spiral,
right,
until they can't get back out.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it would get so bad for some people if that starts to happen.
Got you. Yeah.
Which is scary, man. Like,
true.
True. Because it's not just the adults, it's kids too, because they're going to feel it.
Yeah.
And
because we need purpose.
We do. We do.
We need purpose. Without it, it's like, well, why are we even here?
Right.
So.
Yeah. You got to. People just got to develop their skills, man. Whatever it is, just start developing something.
Would you say that that's solid advice to, for any and everybody? Doesn't matter what age you are, right? But to just try to add a few more tools to your tool bag right now.
Yep.
So that way you don't know which one of those tools you may have to lean on more in the near future or future.
Yeah. It's like we talk about, man. Just narrow down 2 things, maybe 3 things that you're passionate about, because you could be, like somebody like me. I figured out I'm multi-passionate. So like, when I find something I like, I just become super passionate about it.
Yeah.
So, but I have to learn to stay narrowed down to like 2 things.
Yep.
That and really stick with those, because you can't spread yourself too thin.
No. Yeah. No.
So
no, that's true, man. And I catch myself sometimes being that way as well. I always have to check in with myself and be like, hey, look, I can't, like, for example, I had to quit my my softball team.
Damn.
And I didn't even get to play one game because I just realized like I don't have the time
Right.
to give to that right now.
Yeah.
Even though I enjoy it, I enjoy the guys, I
Yeah.
enjoy the team, I enjoy the you know,
Right.
the whole atmosphere. It's fun,
Yeah.
you know. But I had to let it go. It was tough to do, but
Yeah, man, and you know that and it does suck for some people. You know, even for me, like when you got to give something up, like you were saying. But you have to, because your energy can't be too many places at once.
yeah, no, because some you're gonna lack somewhere, you know.
Yeah.
You're gonna lack somewhere. But yeah, man, this is a very interesting episode. You know, we wanted to give you guys a little something a little different. You know, we've had a plethora of guests on.
Yeah.
We'll continue to bring some guests on. We got some exciting people, man, that we're gonna bring on the podcast that might shock. I mean, I know it's gonna shock us, so I'm sure it'll shock you guys. But as always, we want to thank you guys for watching, for listening, and we will catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.